Let's have a little occult chat. This is your host, The Occult View. Yeah. It's a lot going on as usual. You know, that's my famous line. There's a lot of shit going on as usual. But I want to talk about something that I've been witnessing and seeing in just social media in general among people, especially men. I realize that a lot of men ain't no good. They ain't no good. A lot of men, it doesn't matter what their race is, they are no good. Oftentimes, black men get accused of being bums and not having anything and stuff like that. But do you realize I have found out something? White men are just as bad. They can't take care of themselves. They don't have the necessities to take care of themselves. They don't have any money. We've been up under this illusion that white men are supposed to have so much. Well, that's only a small percentage from what I'm seeing. And when men don't have, no matter what race they are, when they don't have what they want, they become very, very bitter. They become very, very combative. And they become very, very dangerous people. They become abusive. They become volatile. They become psychologically abusive, emotionally abusive. And this is across the board. What is going on with men in this culture? What is going on with them? All of them. What is really going on with them? And then when you read their profiles and look at their profile pictures, they are standing there with weapons. And then they will tell you, especially the white ones, the white men, they will tell you, don't be anti weapon or don't be anti gun. They're sitting up in their pictures. They have animals licking them all in their face while talking about they're looking for a good woman. Are you really? Are you really? How can you ask? Again, here we go again with this ideology, this twisted, backwards ideology. How can you ask for a good woman or someone good when you are putting out negativity? How can you expect to get what you want in return, which I don't give a fuck whether they get it or not? That's not my point. So I was reading this particular person's profile online, and he was talking about don't be anti-gun, and then further down it says that he was a Christian. I said, go figure. Go motherfucking figure. He's a Christian. That makes perfect sense. I'm all for people defending themselves. Don't get me wrong. I am not anti gun or That has nothing to do with it. I'm all for people being able to defend themselves, but this is what I really wanted to talk about. What is the true nature of evil? That's what this is where this conversation is leading to. What is the true nature of evil? Because see, to me, this person that I'm talking about right now, he is the personification and the true nature of evil. And the reason that he's the true nature of evil is because he's trying to strip a person of their choice to be anti gun or to be pro gun. He's telling people don't be anti. But what if a person is not into weapons and stuff like that? And why would you be on a particular site that is designed for people to meet people? Why would you be on there holding up weapons? Why would you be on there doing that? Maybe some women find that attractive in a man to do something like that because that may show that a man can protect you. Nothing wrong with that. But why would you tell someone they have to be pro gun in order to talk to you? First of all, who are you? Who are you? That's number one. Number two, what gives these people the right to try to take away a person's right to say, I'm not into that. I don't like that. And we all know that white men have a long history. Racist white men have a long history of trying to violate people and take away people's rights. And I don't give a fuck who gets mad about that. It's historical. I remember years ago, when I was in my maybe mid to late 20s, I was talking to this white guy, right? We had not met. We were talking on this little dating app. And he was a bit older than me. I think he was in his late 30s at the time. I was in my mid to late 20s. Years ago now. This was years ago. Now, we were talking. We were going to meet. And when it came, when I want to meet with someone, I want to know what they like intimately in the bedroom. I want to know everything about the person. You know what I'm saying? I want to know everything about the person. I want to know so there won't be any surprises because I don't like surprises. I like to know what I'm stepping into and what I'm dealing with. So this person, this person, I'm going to call him Bill because Bill is his name. His name is Bill. Country white boy. Country. Country, okay? From the country part of Maryland. He says to me, there's one thing I want to tell you. If we meet, I have to have raw sex with you. I said, what? If we meet, I don't use condoms. I want to have raw intercourse with you because if you put a condom on, my penis will not get hard. Excuse my language for being graphic, but I'm just telling you the story. I told him, I said, I do not have unprotected sex. I said, first off, we will not be having sex the first time we meet anyway. That's number one. Okay? We can fool around, but we ain't going to be doing all that other shit. You know? That was number one. Number two, why would you want to have sex unprotected with a total complete stranger in the first place? Unprotected. I know people do what they do, but unprotected, why would you want to have sex with me and you don't know me? And I don't know you, and I don't know where your penis has been. And I don't have any diseases. I always get checked. I don't have any. And I ain't catching none. So what makes you think that you are so great that I would put my life at risk? Here we go with that entitlement and that racist religion of supremacy that some of them follow. Not all, but some of them follow. What makes you think that you are so great that I am going to put my life at risk for you? So he kept saying, well, if I come all that way, I want to have, I blocked him. First of all, that was not the agreement. The agreement was we were going to meet, maybe fool around a little bit, but then he started when he was attracted to me. And once he saw more of me, he wanted to do more. And I get that because I'm a hot tamale, honey. Okay, at least I think so. And so do some of the men, but that's another story. But that wasn't the arrangement. He totally changed up everything and tried to enforce. This is where evil comes in. He tried to enforce his will and agenda against me. And when I didn't go along with it before I blocked him, he got silent. I noticed that's what a lot of men, especially white men, but a lot of men, that's what they do. When you don't go along with their evil agenda, they will back off. They don't want to compromise. We could have had sex, but that's what adults do. But only protected. I've lost two childhood friends. I've lost two childhood friends in my life from AIDS and HIV. Two. And an aunt. And numerous other people that I know. And for some reason, even now, people think that HIV is not a serious disease if you catch it. Yes, I know they have a lot of treatments for it now. But who wants to go through all of that? And that's not the only thing you have to worry about in terms of STDs. But again, that's another topic. I'm talking about what is the true nature of evil. See, I think that evil has many different faces and many different layers to it. I'm only talking about one aspect of evil. And when a person tries to enforce their will upon you, that is evil to me. When a person will not compromise with you, that is an evil trait. That is evil. And most of these people, most of these people who I've encountered who have this trait, they claim to be one or two things, maybe three, but I'm going to stick with two because I can't think of the third one right now. They claim to be a Christian or they claim to be a good person. All of these people are always good people and always Christians. They're always so moral. They're always so moral. They're always the epitome of morality while trying to violate and take away another person's right to say, I don't like this. That's the culture that we live in now. That's the culture we live in now. If you tell a person, I'm not interested in that, They're going to try to force themselves on you. Women do it too. Women do it too. It's not just men. Women do this shit too. It knows no race, no gender. But because I deal with men, I get a lot of that from them. And see, with men, sometimes, with black men, what they will do, if you don't do something that they want you to do, if there's something that they want you to do and you don't do it, they will still be cool with you. But they will walk around. How can I put this? Black men will still be cool with you. See, white men will cut you off. White men will cut you off. If you don't do what they want you to do, there's no compromising with them. They'll cut you off because that's just how evil and demonic some of them are. Black men are evil and demonic too, but what they do is they won't cut you off. They will still have sex with you. They will still be around you while ultimately plotting against you. They will pretend, they'll put on their poker face and they will pretend that everything is okay. All the while having a whole problem with you because you said, no, I'm not really into that. I have boundaries. I don't like that. They'll say okay, but then they will have a whole, what do they call it, a vendetta, a whole vendetta against you the entire time. That's just like in that movie, The Charm. Not The Charm, I mean The Craft. When Sarah told, I forget the character's name. It was played by Skeet Ulrich. What was his name? I think his name was Chris. His character's name was Chris. Chris liked Sarah in The Craft. Chris wanted to take Sarah back to his house. Yeah, his name was Chris. He wanted to take Sarah back to his house. They were on a date. And she was like, nah, I don't really know you that well. I just moved it. I'm new in town. I just moved here. I want to keep it kind of, I want to keep it like this. I feel more comfortable doing this, right? So Sarah was like, are you cool with that? And he looked at her. You could see the demon coming out of him. I saw that demon in him. I saw that demon coming out of him. You saw that demon. He's like, yeah, that's okay. The next day at school, he went around telling everybody that he slept with Sarah and that basically her pussy wasn't no good. That's what he said. And people were bullying her and harassing her. And he was a popular person at the school. He did the same thing to the girl Nancy, who was friends with Sarah at the time, but they ended up turning against her. That's another story. But what Chris did, that was indicative of what I'm talking about. That's a part of the nature of evil. She didn't want to go home with him and have sex with him. So he goes and lies on her and tells the whole school they had sex and she had some lousy puss, basically. That's basically what he did to destroy her reputation, to degrade her. But she got his ass in the end. Her and Nancy, they got that ass in the end. They worked that witchcraft on him and they got his ass good in that movie and he deserved it. He deserved every fucking thing that happened to him. I feel no sympathy for him whatsoever because he put those series of events into place. And, speaking of The Craft, I like to play devil's advocate a lot of times. And I know eventually Nancy went crazy and she became really erratic and she just went insane the deeper she got into and the more power she took in when she conjured what is it deity, Manul or whatever, I forgot. But when we really pull back the layers and we really go back to the genesis of what created and what made Nancy what she was, that guy Chris, he, part of the axis of evil, he was one of the reasons why she was the way that she was. He helped to create that. He helped to create what Nancy would ultimately become. I'm not saying he was part of all of it, but he ultimately helped to create that. He was partially responsible for that because he degraded her. He went after Nancy as well and destroyed her reputation as well because she probably told him no. And it really goes to show how when witches stand up for themselves and say no, these types of men will try to tear down their character, try to tear down their integrity using lies and alibis, false alibis. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that is evil. That is one of the true natures of evil. Someone doesn't do what you want them to do, then I'm just going to, lie on them. I'm going to slander them. I'm going to turn people against them. Because, the people that are around most of these people, they're weak minded anyway. And the people that they're serving that are doing this, these evil people, most of them don't even like the people that are around them. They're just using them. They're just using them. They don't like any of those people because they're evil. They're evil. So bringing it back down to earth from Hollywood and just examining, the people that I come in contact with, you're mad because another person may not be into, just as an example, because another person may not be into unprotected sex. You're mad because a person is not into politics. They're not into being anti or pro gun. What if the person is just in the middle? And then a lot of these men, as I stated before, you wonder why you're by yourself. You wonder why you're by yourself. You wonder why nobody is checking for you. If I was a woman and I saw a man on a social media app claiming that he's looking for a woman and he's telling me already they're making demands, don't even know you. That's another thing. How are you going to make demands on a person that you don't even know? Already making demands. You have to be pro gun. You have to be a Christian. You have to be this and you have to be that. I saw one motherfucking fool, he was a white guy too. I saw one motherfucking fool on there talking about you have to be a Trump supporter. And Trump don't give a fuck about none of you motherfuckers. Trump don't give a fuck about none of you motherfuckers. Not saying that Biden does, but I'm just saying. He don't give a fuck about none of you. But you're telling people, oh, if you don't support Trump, then we can't be in a relationship. If you don't have the same political views as me, we can't be in a relationship. But I thought opposites attracted. I don't want someone who thinks like I do. I prefer someone who is different because I want to learn something different. Why do all these men, and I'm going to be honest with you, be totally honest with y'all. When I look at a lot of these men in social media who claim they're looking for women, I want to ask them, are y'all gay? Are y'all really looking for another man, but claiming to look for a woman? Because when you read their profiles, there's nothing in there that is indicative of them looking for a woman. The only thing they'll say is gym. Well, we know what goes on at the gym with a lot of men. A lot of bisexual men, they love the gym. Ladies, watch them men who only want to stay in the motherfucking gym. Watch them. Y'all watch them, ladies, because a lot of them men that want to stay in the gym all day, watch them. Because they be in them gyms doing some, okay? A lot of those men who want to be up in the gym all day, you got to watch them. You got to watch them. Okay? Because we all know what goes on up in them gyms with a lot of those so-called straight men, but they're really bisexual. And it's nothing wrong with being bisexual and liking what you like, but it's about honesty and telling the truth. And a lot of them don't tell the truth. So what they will do is they'll come back out into the real world pretending to be heterosexual, pretending and attacking women, attacking other people with their evil and making demands on things while they're behind the scenes having sex with other men and not telling their girlfriends and their wives. Right? But I have seen guys in social media. What was I getting ready to say? Oh, yeah. I've seen guys in social media and their profiles claim they're looking for women. But when you read between the lines with your spiritual eye, you can see they're not looking for women. They're looking for another man. You want a woman who reminds you of a man? You want a woman with a six-pack? You want a woman, but you don't want a woman to be a woman. You want a woman to have male misogynistic views like you. That old warlock type of energy. You want a woman that's a warlock. Not a wise woman, not a witch. You don't want a witch because a witch can see through you. They don't want a witch, a wise woman. They don't want that. They want another man. That's what they really want. They want another man. If I was a woman and I saw a man with guns and all of that on his profile, that would horrify me. Because the first thing that I would think about is he going to use one of them on me? Especially if he a white guy. Because we all know what white guys do and how they get down. I was just watching that show, Fear Thy Neighbor, not that long ago. You know that show, Fear Thy Neighbor? And I know they have black and white men on there, but white men are known for committing these types of crimes. They're known for it. And I don't give a fuck who gets offended. I talk about everybody equally. Everybody. And today, white boys, it's your day. It's your day today. And I think I'm gonna post this on my other backup channel. I'm not gonna post this on my regular channel. I'll post this on my backup channel. It's horrifying what's happening. And people wonder what's really going on. See, right now I had to come back down into the 3D world and talk like this because I'm seeing what's happening. And see, evil people like this are the type of people that can kind of get you stuck and they can keep you from elevating if you're not spiritually grounded enough because they are stuck in a cycle of demonic havoc. I noticed that white men, a lot of them, they're always looking for someone's bodily fluids. They're always looking for someone's bodily fluids. I noticed that for some type of ritualistic purposes. You want to have raw anal sex because you want to tap into those frequencies of the spine and spinal fluid and stuff because they can pull energy from that, I'm learning. They want to suck the life force out of vaginas and black penises because they can pull energy from that. They're vampires. They're vampires. That's what they are. They're looking for energy. That is why they get upset and ghost you when you don't do what they want you to do. That's why. They are always on the prowl for someone's bodily fluids. Bodily fluids. They're always looking for that. And at first I said, oh, they just mad, but no. A lot of these white men, they practice certain forms of whatever, magic or dark magic, whatever they do. They practice and they use people's bodily fluids in their rituals. That's why they want them so badly. That is why they don't want to have sex with you with a condom because they can't really pull your energy that way. I know what's up. That's why I don't really fool with white men that much. I don't fool with them like that. I don't fool with them like that because I know what they are and I know what they're trying to do. They will come to you with a smile like most evil people will. They'll come to you with a smile. But then their true agenda begins to really show. They are energy harvesters and they're energy vampires. They are energy harvesting entities. And even though I didn't say that right, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. They like to harvest people's energy. That's why you have to be careful dealing with some of them. I didn't say all, but some of them you have to be careful dealing with them. That is why some years back, well, let me just say this first. A lot of black men, you wonder why you're so messed up now. You wonder why a lot of black men are so messed up now? Because back during, especially a lot of you younger women and younger men, let me tell you what happened. Back during the late 90s and the early 2000s, black men was getting even into the 2010s and all of that. But see, when black men started being shown to be harmed in the streets more by some of these racist white police officers, then black men started waking up to a nightmare. See, they were in a see, black men, y'all were in a dream state, and then you woke up in a nightmare. You were laying back, getting your dick sucked all through the 1990s and 2000s, thinking that you was the man. I got the white man sucking my dick. You did all that motherfucking shit, not knowing that they was playing you, sucking your energy, and using that shit for rituals for the very same things that y'all are crying about now. For the very same things that you're crying about now, they were using your energy in those rituals. That is why now black men have been depleted. You went out, and I've talked about this before, and I may be repeating it, but you went out being cuckolds for couples, for white couples, not knowing that some of them may have been practicing certain forms of magic. Because niggas, y'all just think everybody is what they is. You don't look for anything. You just trust anything that a white person says. You just trust whatever they say. Not knowing that they were using you for your energy. You thought they were just letting you fuck their wives for free for no reason. No, they was getting something out of it. Because they know what your worth is, even though you don't know what your worth is. They know what your worth is, but you just don't know it. Some of you just don't know what your worth is. And that's why now you don't have any more value or worth, because you've allowed it to be sucked and fucked out of you. And I don't care who gets mad about what I'm saying. I know what the fuck I know. And then you wonder why black men are weird now. You wonder why they're off now. Well, this is part of the reason why. Because they sacrificed themselves and didn't even get anything out of the deal. You sacrificed yourselves to a bunch of vampires who sucked you dry. And now you waddling down Struggle Boulevard. And so are some of your offsprings as well. You wonder why a little Tyreek can't get that job and keep it. I said Tyreek. Not talking about Nasheed. I just said Tyreek. You wondering why, your daughter's life is not going the way that you had planned it. Well, think about some of the things that you did. Think about some of the things that you did in your youth. Think about some of the ways you sacrificed your energy and your seeds, all for your own licentious pleasures. Think about some of the things that you did, that you took part in, that you won't take responsibility for, but you want to sit up and blame black women for being this and being that. And no, this ain't no motherfucking gender war fucking video, so don't go there with me. This is a metaphysical video because I'm talking about the exchange of energy and evil and how people take away your choices. That's evil. But some people just gave away their choices and didn't ask any questions. See, when that white man wanted to have raw sex with me, I told him no. I told him no because I already knew what was up with him. I told him no. I'm an occultist. I know what's up. I know why they want to have raw sex. What difference would have it made if we used a condom or not? What difference would have it made? We would have been having sex. I said, oh, that motherfucker wanted to try to steal my fucking energy or insert something inside of me. I said, oh, okay, I get it. And I knew he was a practitioner. I knew it. I didn't know it then, but I figured it out once I became more spiritually in tune. I began to see what was really going on. He was an energy harvester, trying to steal energy, manifesting off of my energy. No, bitch. No, you don't do that to me. Now, those other black men may let you do that to them, but you will not do that to me. At least not with my knowledge and my own participation. I don't believe in self-sacrificing myself for my own downfall. And that's what a lot of black men, unfortunately, have done. They have self-sacrificed themselves for their own downfall. Hell, at least some of the time, when black women get with white men, at least they getting something out of it. At least they do know how to pick some white men that have something going on for themselves, at least some of the times. Look at what happened to Billy Porter, the actor and I think is he a choreographer? But he's gay, black guy that played what did he play in Cinderella? I think he played the fairy godmother. He was dating a white guy, And then when Billy Porter started having financial problems, the white guy dumped him. He was married to the guy. They were married, and then he dumped him. He dumped him because that is what they do. That is what they do. They do not they do not like us like that. They don't like other black men like that. I'm sorry, they don't like black men like that. White men don't like black men like that. Even the ones that will have sex with black men sometimes. And again, I'm not putting all white men in this category. Let me say that. This is not all white men. This is some of them. Okay, I'm not putting all white men in this category. And the reason that I don't have to explain shit to anybody, but it would be stupid and ignorant for me to not say that. This is not for all white men because this does not apply to all white men, but it applies to the ones I'm talking about, and I don't give a fuck if they get mad or not. That is why a lot of them feel so bold and so what's the word? So confident in their racism sometimes. That is why. Because they have energy and spirit backing them up with that. Or whatever spell work that they're doing. Using your energy, black men. They sucked your energy. Because you thought you were just getting a blowjob. But you didn't know that you was getting the life force sucked out of you. Jeffree Star even said that he likes sucking black men's penises for youth and vitality. He even said that. So when we go back to the original topic of what is the nature of evil, this right here is the nature of evil. When you misuse and abuse people against their will, and you try to enforce things on people that they don't want enforced on them. You want people to agree with everything that you do. You want people to go along with everything that you do and don't question it. You want people to just say, oh, that's okay. I'll accept this. I'll accept that. With no questions asked. You don't want people to have, they don't want people to have a mind of their own anymore. They don't want that. No, they don't want that. I'm looking for something, y'all. Give me a minute. Oh, here it is. They don't want people to have a mind of their own anymore. If I was looking for a man, I don't want a man who thinks like I do. I don't want a person who thinks and acts like I do. That's just me personally. I'm not telling anybody else how to feel because people can feel and however they want. And oftentimes I think when people, when people think of a soulmate, they think of someone who is just like them. Me personally, I want my soulmate to be the total opposite of me. I don't want someone who thinks and acts and does the same thing that I do. Like I said earlier, I want to be able to learn something different because that brings in a certain balance. That's just like if you take two magnets. If you take two positive magnets, they will repel. Two negative magnets, they will repel. But you take a positive and a negative and they connect because they can feed off of each other, not in a vampiric sense, but in a learning sense. Okay? That's just me. But you have people out here, even it does not have to be contingent upon a romantic relationship, even in so-called friendships. This is why, I'm a low-key person. A lot of people try to befriend me, but I really don't befriend a lot of people like that because I can see them before they come. A lot of people have ulterior motives, and a lot of times they want to get next to you. They want to get next to you so they can study you. It's something about you or something that they want from you, and they will get next to you so they can study you and then turn against you. That is why I don't really do a whole lot of friendships. I especially don't do a lot of friendships with females. I don't. I really don't. I don't. Because they have a tendency to want to get next to you to try to get something from you. Men do this too, but females do this a lot, especially to other females. They do this a lot. I don't befriend very easily. And when people try to befriend me too much and too quickly, I give them the side eye. But see, I'm a straightforward person. I'll tell them straight up, I don't want to be your friend. I don't care about hurting your feelings. I don't want to be your friend. Leave me the fuck alone, or you will have some problems in your life. Just leave me alone. I'm not one who needs a bunch of friends around me. I'm not that person that needs that. I don't need that. I can enjoy my own company. There are people in my family, they are so fucking miserable. They are so miserable because they cannot just sit and be by themselves. I'm lonesome. I'm this, I'm that. What you doing? I'm lonely. Well, that's on you. That is the price you pay for not being able to be by yourself. That is the price you pay for depending on other people for your entertainment, for your love, for your support all of the time. People do need people sometimes. Don't get me wrong. But when you totally depend on other people for your support, that is evil too. That's an evil trait. And then you get mad when people are not flocking to your every fucking need. I was watching a video today about Judy Garland. And the young lady who made the video, I love her channel. Ashley Says So. I love Ashley Says So. You all should go and check her out. Ashley Says So. She does great commentary on old Hollywood scandals. Great commentary. I believe in supporting black female content creators. Go and check her out. Ashley Says So. Great commentary all the time on old Hollywood scandals. Love her. She's very talented. So she was talking about Judy Garland and all of the things that happened in Judy Garland's life. And her own mother was really a tyrant towards her, and it did not even pay off the way that it should. Because if it paid off the way that it should, Judy Garland should not have died on a toilet, broke and penniless in 1969. She was abused by the studio system. No matter what she did in her personal life, Judy Garland was a victim of humanity. She was victimized as young as 13. Men groping her, molesting her, doing all types of things to her. And these were old men, old nasty men who enforced their will upon her. They put her on a diet. They called Judy Garland fat. Where was Judy Garland fat? They called Judy Garland fat when she was 17 years old because she was developing as a young woman. And they wanted to keep her as a child. So they began taking food away from her, restricting her diet. She couldn't eat this, she couldn't eat that. They tortured her. Then she dies at the age of 47, 48 on a toilet in London. Her mother inflicted all types of emotional abuse against her because Judy Garland began to rebel against what her mother was trying to do, which was basically not in a sexual way, but basically trying to pimp her daughter out to the studios so she could get the best parts. When sometimes Judy just wanted to be a kid. And they had corrupted another child star, Mickey Rooney, so much because he and Judy Garland were around the same age. Judy Garland was a young, normal woman that they turned into what they turned her into. She was attracted to Mickey Rooney, a younger man on her level, but because they had exploited him, they had exploited Mickey Rooney. He was a child having sex with adult women, adult female stars at that time. He was like 15 and 16 having sex with 25 and 26-year-old women at the time. One of the women was Norma Shearer. She was, now I know I'm dropping some names you may not know, but Norma Shearer was equivalent to, how can I put, who's a famous starlet now? Norma Shearer was equivalent to like Angelina Jolie, okay? She was like the Angelina Jolie of her day. She used to be the big shot, the queen bee in Hollywood back in the 20s. She started in the silent film era, Norma Shearer. He was having an affair with her and he was only 15 or 16 years old. So when Judy Garland wanted to approach him about having a relationship with her, like most normal girls her age, they were on the same age level, he rejected her because he was exploited. He had been corrupted by evil. He'd been corrupted by the Yahweh effect, which is all about child exploitation, child sacrifice. Judy Garland was sacrificed because later on, she started participating in things that was not of her nature. That was not of her nature. She started getting involved in sexual things that were not of her nature. Those things were forced upon her. That is evil. That is evil. That is a part of the axis of evil. Anyway, I just wanted to come through and say that. Um, and that's really all I have to say for right now. Thank you.